Welcome back to live here at the studio. I am Keith. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope you guys had a great holiday this week. It's still kind of the holidays because the new year is right around the corner, and still have some decorations up. Still got the snowman up there, and have a studio full of stuff. I've got my list of things that most of it's things I purchased last year. We're going to look at those and talk about those tonight. But let me first say hi to those of you that have joined me in the chat, and put chat on the air here. David was here early. I hope David's still in the chat. Haven't heard or seen a chat from him in a little while. Tony's got a seat right there with David. Also, we have Hank, and that is it. So 3 guys tonight. I didn't know how many I would have for the live, but we are going live tonight. So just in case you were wondering, hope you guys all had an amazing holiday, and we'll see how tonight goes. Like I said, I do have a list of items that we're going to take a look at. And I think all the cameras are live. So let's do this shot right here. So that's my head right there, but you can see I have all of this stuff inside the studio, and I even made a kind of a cool macro here. I'll show you. Well, we'll come back to that here in a minute. So back to me and a logo. So I hope you guys have had a great weekend so far. I've had quite a busy time since we were live last Tuesday. I am excited. The channel has been growing. I did a short video about a Christmas present I got that will be posted. It's a short, has nothing to do with live streaming tech. In fact, I will just go ahead and let the cat out of the bag. This is actually my first Hallmark collector's Christmas tree ornament, and it's the 1966 Batman and Robin. Let's see if I can get that close in there. There you can see. And if I push this little button right here on the side, it lights up. So hopefully I don't get flagged for that. But anyway, this is something new for my shelf, which is going to be really exciting for me. And I'm pretty stoked to have this little thing on my shelf. Also, just give you guys some highlight. My daughter drew my name. We do name draws, and I got a new 1966 collector's figure. These stay in the box, and I've been collecting these 1966 figures by McFarlane, obviously a DC character. And if you know the original Batman and Robin series, this is just one of the characters that show up. This is the Joker in his nice little cool costume. And so that has been added to the studio. Also, right up here, right there in the corner, you can see, let's go a little bit wider here. I got a little original Batman and Robin comic book tin that sits right up there on the shelf. And I will be bringing that into the live in the future. Let's see, what else do we have? Also, let me grab this real quick. We'll change microphones here real fast. And this book, and this is a funny story. I actually got a coupon from my Amazon associate account, and I went ahead and ordered this because it was the exact same money. I had a coupon. And then after it came in, my wife goes, "Hey, could you not buy any more Christmas presents?" And I go, all I did was buy a 1966 Batman series, TV series book. And she goes, yeah, I know, I bought you the exact same one. So anyway, this is another thing I'm adding to my collection, and it's kind of exciting to be adding these things. Let me set this back down there. So we're going to not talk Batman tonight. I just wanted to share a couple things that I received during the holiday, and that was exciting. We had a great time. I was at my daughter's house yesterday with lots of my family, and we also had Christmas Eve here at my house with some of the family. We had family that came in from about 60 miles away, so that was really fun, and it was just really good to be together. Got to go over and see my oldest son. My second oldest son, Nathan, is in California, so they weren't able to be with us, but the rest of my kids, at least we got to see and give them a hug. My youngest son and my daughter, obviously, were there at her house, and that was really cool. And I hope you guys have had a great holiday so far as well. And again, it's good to have David here from Down Under. Thanks for joining me, David. I'm sure it's quite early there in Australia. And it's good to have David back in here with us. So we're going to talk a bunch of things tonight, things that I purchased last year, and I want to talk about the kind of the takeaways. Was there anything that about those items that I purchased that was amiss? And then I want to do an honorable mention for a couple things that I got towards the end of the year. You can see right there is the box for the prompter, and I have the prompter right here. And we're going to start with the prompter tonight, and it's by Elgato. Let me grab it, pull it in here closer. And you can see right now I have it in teleprompter mode, and that has been a great item. I can put it right here on my lens. I have the adapter. There's rings that you can use, step-up rings that you put on your lens, and then you can slide it on there. We turn it around. You can see that it has different plates that go in the background. One that fits the Elgato Facecam Pro, and then there's another just square piece with a hood on it that goes over any kind of web camera, and you can obviously use it with the L bracket, and that's where you mount your webcams. I don't have the L bracket on right now because it's set up so it can just slide right on my camera. So that's how deep it is when you slide it on a lens. And then if you use the L bracket, it sticks out about like this. You can put the camera on top of it. I have the L bracket over there in the drawer. Let me grab it real quick. Thought I was completely ready for tonight. So this is the L bracket, and camera can mount on the top here, right there. I think I have thought I had their old face cam here somewhere. It was a little while ago, but it just screws on the top, and then this screw right here screws on the back, just like this. But you would take this plate off, set this down, and this is the Facecam Pro plate, and I don't have a Facecam Pro, I just have a regular Facecam. And this is the plate you're going to use for your webcams. And so this just goes on here. So you'd pull this one off and put this one on, and then you can put a hood. So basically it's going to go like this, and you would just put the hood over your camera, and then all of this would mount right there on the back of that prompter, and then you have a video mode, so you can share your screen, you can share your chat, you could share PowerPoint or share Zoom, because it plugs literally USB-C into your laptop or your Macintosh, your PC, whatever you have. And then it comes with a set of step-up rings. Even though I'm missing one, they sent me two of one and left out the 67 mil. I think I have two 62s, and they're supposed to replace this whole kit. And I'm just going to open it, take out the one I'm looking for, put the extra one back in, and then send them a new prompter back when it gets here. And that's supposed to come sometime after the first of the year. But that's the prompter. And so I'm going to need this space. So let me put this stuff back. And as far as does it work and does it function, I absolutely love it. I love another monitor right here for a Zoom call. So I'm primarily using it for Zoom, or if I want to do a video and type out what I want to say or my notes, then I could do that. I could literally have had this on it, could have just dragged Microsoft Word over to the prompter screen and it would display. Right now I have the prompter through my my PC, so let me see where that's at in the dragging scheme here. Let me turn it around real quick. And let me try to drag this over there. Let me check and see where things are right now. Okay. That's monitor 4. And that's monitor 3. So let's try this again. If I could get it to drag over there, I just can't see it from behind me. Now I've got everything messed up here. Not good. What do I got here? Okay. Sorry about that. So anyway, I can drag things over to the prompter, and I really like it. It serves the purposes that I hoped it would serve, and that means that I can put Zoom on it and have it literally right over my camera. In fact, I can move it right now. Makes it a lot easier to drag things over on it. Just need to run these cables back behind here. It does change the white balance a little bit and makes me a little warm, but now I could be looking right into the teleprompter if I wanted to, or I could switch that to something besides the prompter, but I'm looking right in to the prompter right now. And so it's a great device. I think it's something that you may want to consider. I did put the link to my unboxing video in the descriptions below for all of these items I'm going to talk about tonight. And so I thought I would just go ahead and do this. And so there you can see that prompter from one of the photographs that they have at Elgato's site. And you can go check that out, but it's a great tool. You can use it with webcams. You can use it on the front of your regular lenses, as long as you can use one of the step-up rings. It comes with 9 different step-up ring sizes. And again, I think for the money and for the value and what you can use it for, it is a great tool. And again, it's going to add another monitor to your setup. So just remember that. So you're going to have to position your monitors where you want them, and that's what I was wrestling right now. I have it hooked up to my PC, and it can be difficult to know where you're dragging to if you don't set it up. And I normally have it right here, not over my shoulder, and that's what threw me off a little bit tonight. So that's the prompter. That's item number 1, and let's just see if anybody else has popped in. It's good to see Doug here tonight. Thank you for joining us. Also, we have Joe in the house. Thank you, Joe, for the super chat. I don't know why it is not displaying correctly tonight. I've had that issue before. Let me go in here real quickly and see if I have this key set up wrong. It's key number 4, I believe. Let's turn that off and back on again. Yeah. So it's not going to work to pre-multiply it. We're at 11.4. Nope. Gain. Nope. Not sure what is going on with Super Chat today. But thank you so much, Joe, for that super chat. I apologize. For some reason, it's not displaying on the screen, and this happens occasionally. It's a bug. And so, again, I apologize. I'll read what you said there. Here's for the laughs and the learning. In 2003, your mic was muted for only 25% of your streams. Laugh out loud. Yeah. Okay. Well, I did have some streams with my mic muted. I am guilty as charged, Joe. But again, thank you so much for that super chat. Okay, so Hank says the Elgato prompter is really very popular. It's currently on back order with delivery estimated for mid-April 2024. Yeah, that's quite crazy that there's that much of a desire for it, and it is back ordered for quite a bit. So, and I have hit record. Thank you for that, Tony. I did see that. Again, not planning on using this footage later, but I am now recording, and I'm actually recording ISO tracks. It says ISO record right there. So anyway, thank you for that catch. Okay, let's see if anybody else has popped in the chat. David says the teleprompter looks great. Yeah, again, it's pretty intuitive as well. So if you've been using a Facecam Pro or you're using a Stream Deck, you're pretty used to Elgato's software and interfaces, and it's really not difficult to use at all. So I have thoroughly enjoyed it, and so appreciate you guys. And so the other thing that I purchased, let me put it up here real quick. Now it's kind of around the corner, but that is the Elgato green screen. And again, it's quite the tool. So we could key that out tonight. I'm not set up to do any keying. I don't have any backgrounds ready to go in the background, but if I wanted to put a different TV back there, I could. Or if I wanted to make it look, right behind me, I could bring it around. Right now it's blocking some of the other things we're going to talk about, but I added this as well. So 2 Elgato items this year, the prompter as well as the Elgato green screen, and they have one that pulls down. They have one that's not as wide as this one. This is the new wider version. Let me bring it all the way into camera. Now I can't get in there now. I'm pretty well blocked, but you can see how big it is. And that's full height. And it's nice and compact. And it just folds up. So let me lower it down. This just folds. Narrow room. So fold it down. And you can set it up in a corner somewhere out of your way. So the prompter, which is on my Canon EOS R right now on the front of my lens using the 82 millimeter adapter right now. I do have my 2.8 70 to, let's see, my 24 to 70 2.8 L lens. That's the aperture, so it really can blur the background. I'll show you that real quick. See if it'll focus on me. There we go. So now the background's a lot more blurred. If you've never seen this before, I did this a few weeks ago, so everything was very blurred behind me. I like to keep it at 5.6, but that was 2.8. And again, the prompter slides right on top of it, so if I'm looking at the ready to roll the camera, little text that came with it, I can read it right as I'm looking into the lens, and that's great. I do not have tonight's stream my confidence monitor on the screen. I could do that through OBS and look right at myself in the prompter. I do still have my confidence monitor right above this. And so not only do we have the Elgato prompter in the studio, we also have the Elgato green screen. And I do want to do some green screen work, do a couple videos on it this year, but we'll just have to roll that when we get a chance. Still want to do some more videos on the Studio Live 32. We're going to look at that here in a minute. But here is that prompter view. So you can see what I'm looking at, and it's right there on my EOS R, and it just slides over there, and you can see what I'm able to read. And then you can control it with the buttons right there on my Stream Deck. I'm not sure if these are active right now. Let's see if they work. No, and I don't have the app open currently. Let's open the app. Oops, wrong computer. Oh, yeah, and I have it plugged into my PC, and I do not have a Stream Deck hooked up to my PC. If I was to pull that prompter out of this computer, into that one, we'll see if it starts up. Hopefully it won't change where all my monitors are located. Okay, let's go back. That's interesting. What happened here? Why are you guys getting that live? Oh, I know what's going on here. Let's do this. What have we done? Let's see here. Chat off the air. And let's make a couple little minor adjustments here. Okay, chat off the air. Let's plug that back in. So switch something here real quick. So there is prompter view, or computer view right there. And then if I go over here to text view and click on it right here, then it changes the text view there, and it changes the text view there. I only have one giant prompter view, but let's see if we can hit play on this. There we go. It is going, and I should be able to hit pause, but my Stream Deck isn't currently running the prompter. But there you go. Prompter is working, and I can change between the prompter view and a screen, which is really good for Zoom and things like that. So have the Elgato green screen, we have the prompter, and again, links in the description below, including links to the videos where I unboxed the prompter, did some green screen work with the green screen, set up the prompter live here, and if you didn't attend those, you can watch those tonight. And okay, let me get my chat working here again. Plug this back. Anytime you plug that prompter in, you're switching up your monitors. So now I'm getting my chat and everything back going here. Okay. I'm going to unplug the prompter because it's messing up my monitors right now, and let me get the chat back on the screen here. Wow, I lost the chat. That is interesting. I have it over here. Let me close this. Maybe it's still here. Let me just check. Okay, let's copy the link. Note to self, don't plug and play monitors while you're live. Surgeon General determines that could be hazardous to your live stream. Okay. Restored my chat. Let's get back in here. Tony says peekaboo. Wow, I did not know this. So please pray for Jay. Sounds like he landed in the hospital with chest pains and high blood pressure. So never done this on my channel before, but I'm going to pause right now for a moment of silence. And let's just, the Bible says where two or more agree is touching any one thing. So let's just gather our hearts together right now for Jay. Our absolute 100% best wishes out to him tonight. Thank you for that update. Okay. Let me get going here again in the chat. Okay, let's go on to the next item. We've covered the green screen. We covered the Elgato prompter, Elgato green screen. Just a little bit, if you have any questions or any comments you'd like to make, please put those in the chat. I will do my best to keep up with those. Let me get back into the chat here as well. Make sure I haven't missed anything. Yeah, and that just popped into my phone and it's up here now. And I agree with that, David. We're all going to keep our hearts turned that direction tonight. So, okay. So the next item, let's move on here and get to the next thing. And that's the light box kit by Orange Monkey. And it's easier just to do this. So let me pop up me and my laptop here. Turn this box on. Not sure why it's not on, but there you go. So starting at $139, you can buy this light box and it folds down. Very good to store. And then there are different backgrounds that you can get. I've purchased all of their backgrounds. So I have 3 of these tubes, and each one of these tubes has the different backgrounds in them. So I can open this up. So they have lots of different type backgrounds, but here's some different type cool backgrounds that you can use to shoot different things on the back. So I like to do photography, and that's why I got this, to be able to do some product photography. So I have those, and I have 3 different sets of those. And then they have LED lights that go in them. They're built in, and then they have extra LED lights. Here they are controlling the regular light inside the box. And there's a background that fills all of this background. You can see it dropping in right there, and it just Velcros in. That comes with the kit as well, and it's spill proof. So you could do black backgrounds. You could do product shots like a DJI in there. drones. And you can see the background that I showed you right here behind the record. I have that background. And there's 3 different sizes. And then they have the 360 as well, which is the turntable. Let me grab that. Get this out of my way. So they have a bigger 360 platform that you can set on top of this that makes it even larger, but this will control from a phone. It'll turn automatically if you're doing a video 360 or if you want to do a photo 360. And this little Cyclops window right here is designed to light the back. So imagine this going in that softbox you see on the screen, and then this light in the back, you can help light the back to key out the brightness in the back. So you have light coming down on the top. You have light right here shining in the back once this is inside there, and then it is electric. And then you can buy their tripod. This is it right here. I absolutely love this tripod. I just bought one for my granddaughter, and the legs expand. It'll fold all the way out that flat. And this will go up and down. And this is such a good deal, including the phone mount, that if you're gonna buy a small little tripod, buy this one right here from Orange Monkey. I don't think I have the links to this in the descriptions, but you can buy it on Amazon. In reality, this is a great little tripod. You can take this little handle out. It has the ability to adjust and go portrait. And it also has the little marks here on the bottom. So you can do different degrees, and it's a great little tripod for you to be using when you're shooting in the Foldio 360. So each of these parts can be bought separately, or there's certain kits that you can get, and there's also some light bars that are available. Let's see if they have the light bars. Let's do the Foldio 360 smart turntable. They have the smart turntable right here. On the left-hand side, and then they have a dome version that you can buy now as well. If you don't want any of the seams, you can have this dome version for small products. And you can see it on the right. You can see the Foldio 360 smart table there. And again, many of the accessories, you can see the light bars that are available as an accessory. They plug in and have a dimmer switch. The top lights have a dimmer switch. This can be dimmed from the phone app, controlled from the phone app. And the phone app's amazing. It does your 360s, it does single shots, or it does, it'll stitch photos together, and then you can actually upload it to your site if you were doing like product photographs, and you could do a turntable view, so you could see a whole 360 view, or you could do a photo view where you hold your mouse over, and as you hold your mouse down, then it turns the object. So very high tech, very cool. Absolutely love the product. And you can see here's the extra table that you can get with the reflector so that it still sends a signal to this little infrared reader right here. And that's why you see a reflector laying on the table, because the plate's so big, it reflects this little signal from your phone and your app. And you can also use a DSLR with this, and that's the Foldio 360. Again, another big investment here in Life Journey Production Studios, but again, with Dominic, my grandson, and I wanting to build his 1/6 scale figure channel. So he's doing the higher end figures, and we'll do some of these as well. And we've postponed launching his channel because his parents wanted him a little bit older before he's on YouTube. But in reality, we're already building it. We shot some videos, we did some unboxings, and so we have a lot of that footage edited. I showed a little of that footage here. Again, there's a link in the description below, and you'll see a little of that footage I shot with Dominic in that Foldio 360 video that we did right here live. And then I played a video in that live of Dominic that night. So you can go check that out as well. So any thoughts or comments on the Foldio 360? Let me know. This chat working? It is really not wanting to work correct tonight. Okay. Thank you for that, Tony. Let me see if I can get chat on. So that's the Folio 360. Again, that's a purchase this year as well. So if you want to check that out, again, I didn't put any associate links in the descriptions below tonight, but they're in the other videos. So if you go to the specific videos that are linked below, there's some affiliate links there. And if you do make a purchase, I get a little bit of coinage from Amazon. And I actually bought another one of these characters from a coupon I just received. So thank you for using those links. I use them for things on my shelf and for things that we're going to use in the studio for video production, live streaming, tech, and audio. And now I'm doing some live audio, and we're going to talk about that here in just a minute. Also this year, I added an extra extreme ISO to my channel, and I'm sure all of you guys are very familiar with Blackmagic Design and their extreme ISOs, but I have two of those puppies now, and I was using the ATEM Mini Pro to give me 4 more channels, and I was using that HDMI out to come into one of the channels of my extreme ISO. But now with an extreme ISO, I can have 8 other inputs. So I moved a couple of my HyperDecks over there, my shuttle, which takes up 1 HDMI, my HyperDeck Mini older version, which takes up 2 HDMIs, so that took up 3. So I have those 3 plugged into my new Extreme ISO, and then I have other cameras like my Canon 5D Mark III, which is my overhead camera, which is right here. That's coming into Extreme number 2 in channel 3, and then I also have on my Skycam, let me get it going on here again. It comes in through channel 4. So this is also coming through my new Extreme ISO. And then I bring them, there's 2 HDMI outs on these devices. So you can see them right here side by side. This is the new one I added this year. And there's 2 HDMI outs right here. And they come out and into these 2 channels right here. So whatever I want to bring in from that Extreme ISO, I can bring into one of these 2 channels. So I lose 2 channels, but I gain 8. So those 2 become 8 from over there. Plus there's a matrix for HDMI out 1 right here. And then you have to use the software to control HDMI out number 2. And then I can set those up before I go live. So here's my camera 1, camera 2. This comes in from the Extreme ISO. This comes in from the Extreme ISO number 2. Then I have my laptop, my PC, and then my main HyperDeck, which is that HyperDeck right here. This HyperDeck has been moved into these 2 channels right here. And the shuttle has been moved into that channel right there. And then I have multi-view available to bring into my live stream. And then I have my camera 3. Camera 2 usually is an extra version of my main camera if I want to go live from this. And then usually I have my Apple TV down there. But right now I'm using channel 6, my shuttle HDMI, for bringing in my camera, because I rewired things because I got stuck. So back to me and my laptop. This ISO is great. I bought it used. And at the same time, I got a deal and also purchased an extra Rodecaster Pro version 2. So I have one on my desk. right there that I'm using right now, talking into the microphone now. And now I have a second one, and I have a cover for this one. And then I have a cover for my other one right down there on the floor. And then there's the pedal from Elgato as well. And I can do 3 inputs here, this left side, middle, or right side. And I can control things in my studio as well. But there's a Rodecaster Pro live right now. And here is a Rodecaster Pro that I can use for portable podcasting. It's going to go in Studio B and be set up all the time. I have my old Rodecaster Pro version 1 that's in a kit ready to go out and do portable podcasting. Occasionally, I will lease them out to people that want to do podcasting. And I have 4 pod mics that I can loan out as well. And so this is more when I'm going to go out and do a remote podcast. I don't have to unhook my one on my desk. I just use this and take my pod mics with me. But again, I absolutely love the Rodecaster Pro version 2. And this and the ISO was purchased last year. My Rodecaster Pro version 1 was purchased 4.5 years ago. My first Rodecaster Pro 2 was purchased right after it came out. And that was, I believe, in early 2022, if I remember. And there's been some great firmware updates to this, and you can do a lot with this. What I love about this the most is that there's 2 USB-C out, and then one is for power right here. But you can actually have one of these go into my laptop, which is what's happening right now in my other one, and the other one can go to my PC. So I can use this as an audio interface, one microphone, but I can have a PC for Zoom, or I could have it set up to do something else, and I could use this microphone with it, and I can also do mix minus so they don't hear themselves back if I'm doing an interview. So literally, I could bring in a PC guest in Zoom on my laptop and a PC guest in Zoom on my PC and bring both of those people into my live stream if I wanted to bring guests in. And that's why I really like having a Rodecaster Pro version 2 in the studio. So I purchased this and the EOS, the ATEM Mini Extreme ISO from one of the guys that attends the live stream. I haven't seen him in a while, but he needed my help. I did a free consult with him. And then after we did a free consult, we stayed in contact. And then he was starting to sell some things because he was no longer helping a channel that he had been helping, a fishing show. And so he had this and an ISO available, and I purchased them. I'm barely used from him. So that was a great find last year. So another thing purchased in 2023 with my own money, mostly out of my Life Journey Productions business. So I don't have any links, I don't believe, from my live stream on the Rodecaster Pro version 2, but I do have links for me setting up 2 extreme ISOs in the studio. So I think there's more than one video linked in the description below, so check those out. And if you haven't watched them in a while and you want to know how I linked up 2 extreme ISOs, that's where you're going to go to find out exactly how I did that. So Elgato prompter, the Elgato green screen, the new wider version. Now we've talked about my the ISO, extreme ISO that I added last year to double up my inputs. And then now we've talked about the Rodecaster Pro version 2, which is another great find. And we've talked about the Foldio stuff by Orange Monkey. And so again, those links to those videos are in the description below. And there's lots of parts and pieces to that Foldio kit that I have in the studio. I think I bought everything that they sell in their kit, including extra light bars, so that I'm hooked up. And so, and the nice thing about the light bars and the Foldio 360 is you could use it with any soft or white box for photography. So if you wanted to do a bigger one, you could order another brand and then just use that stuff, the turntable and all of that in it. And you can still use the app as well because it syncs with the turntable, and you could use the bigger tray. That's in that box right there. And then the Foldio is in that box right there. And you already saw the turntable and the tripod and at least one of the tubes of background. So, okay. Let's do this. 2 videos on the extreme ISO setup. Looking at my notes here. Let me grab this microphone. So Sennheiser has done some updating in their technology. And this is the wireless kit. I gifted one of these to a friend of mine that's been doing some tent events, and actually will be doing some live sound again for him next year. But I wanted them to have a wireless microphone. So I like to do that out of my business, is to give out some gifts occasionally to local nonprofit things that are going on. So I did an unboxing video here of that unit and set it up live in a live stream, and the links are below. And then when I bought my sound system, and again, this is the Evolution Wireless Digital, the model number that I have that comes with the microphone is the EWD 835S set. And it comes with the receiver, and I bought a bag, and the receiver's right here. And it has the regular antennas, and it's super easy to use and connect through the app, phone app. And that's one of the things that's really cool. And then it came with the 835 capsule, and this capsule literally can come off of here. You could buy a $1,000 Neumann capsule if you wanted to. And so you could go from a dynamic capsule. That's the screen. Let me take the capsule off. So the screen will turn off. And then you could actually put a Neumann dynamic capsule on top. So again, this is the 835S capsule. You could buy it just like this, and then have, buy whatever capsule you want. You can buy a kit that just has the receiver without a capsule on it. So you can check out Sennheiser's different kits available. And let's go over and take a look at that. So here's the Evolution Wireless page, and they have these different systems. Now they even have this new system that goes on top of a camera. Same basic microphone kit, but smaller, so you can stack it with magnets and have it on top of a camera. So you could have one with a lav mic and another one with a lav mic. I think you can actually do handhelds as well, and then they mount to a top of the camera, which is really cool. That was not released when I bought these and unboxed them last year yet, but it is out now. So you have this basic kit, which is what I got, and you can get it with a body pack and use it for guitar instruments, or you can buy it with a handheld microphone. And they actually make a very expensive dual version of this. Oop, not there. And you can see the dual version right here in the picture. So check that out. I absolutely love this microphone. It sounds amazing, even with the 835 capsule, which is a dynamic capsule, but you can literally put a condenser capsule on here. And Neumann, to even make a capsule for Sennheiser, their technology had to get next level, and it is next level right now. The sound and what you're able to do with these microphones and how well they connect is incredible, and you can buy different frequencies for different parts of the world. But these are not using the 2.4 gigahertz bandwidth. This is using the regular bands and the legal bands for your area, your region. So check out that information. But I absolutely love this. So in reality, the microphone I purchased as a gift, and this one, which is identical, I bought a different bag for my kit, is something I love. I don't really have any cons on this. Worked great, kept a signal. I did have some issues when I had his and my mic together, so we needed to do some frequency changing, but now it works great. And so I can take his mic and I can take my mic, and we could do two mic interviews or things at those events. And because of our relationship, I can borrow his anytime I need it for a gig if he's not using it, and he can borrow mine if he needs it as well. So I had mine at one of the tent events with his, and they were both being used every night. So again, just takes regular batteries. They're right there, and there's a flip out cover that comes out, and then you just switch those batteries. I have Duracells in there right now. Just fold it back down, close it, and it screws in. The on and off button, and if it's got a signal, is right here. Let's go to the bigger view. It's right here underneath it, and then there is a mute switch right here, on and off right here on the microphone. I absolutely love that. And again, you can see the size of the unit, and I could put rack ears. It does come with it, but this is just a Velcroed together kit, and I can set this right on top of a table next to my Studio Live console, and it comes with the holder for a mic stand right here, and I store that right here in this foam area in the front. And then in the back is where I usually have my power cord. It comes with the different ends for different parts of the world, and they just snap on right there. But this is usually folded up in the back of the unit. So Sennheiser makes great mics, great remote kits. And if you really want to get something that's way more reliable outside of the 2.4 gigahertz, which is also the wireless for laptops and iPads and iPhones and smartphones, if you want to get more into the professional line, then you need to get a microphone that's not using the 2.4 megahertz bandwidth, like my DJI mic kit I have on, and the other mics that I have in my travel kit are also 2.4 gigahertz. So I really want to update to another kit for two microphones that is not using the 2.4 gigahertz, and I have some ideas for this year for my new live kit, but that's going to cost me about $1,100. And Curtis Judd just did a video on a kit on his channel, so you can go over and check out Curtis Judd's channel. He does some great videos on audio gear, including things like the Rodecaster Pro and those things. So again, I bought the kit, and it just zips up all the way around, which is why I like it, because you can flip it completely over to let the air flow. Not wanting to zip right now, but it will here in a second. So it goes all the way around. And then it also has a little bag on the front. So I like this bag better than the one that I bought my buddy. And so I have this one. It's a little bigger, a little wider, and it has the pocket for cords and things like that. Or if you want to take the antennas off and store them in here when you're traveling. But I leave the antennas on and turn them sideways. So we'll set that down. So that's a Sennheiser microphone kit. Now let's dive into one more thing before we get too far, and that is the sound equipment that I purchased. I did purchase a, let's do this. Double check the chat here real quick. My phone fell. For some reason, I'm not getting, the chat has just got this bug and it's not populating. So let's see if we can get it working tonight, because it's not wanting to work. There we go. Okay. Good to have you, DJ Ware. Sorry you were late too, but we've been rocking here. Fun fact, there is no ATEM Mini Pro in SDI, only ATEM Mini and ATEM Mini Pro ISO. And the base SDI does not have any multi-view or SDI encoder. And $800 if you want to entry into the SDI version that actually is Pro ISO. Do I do any advertisement? I've been working mainly word of mouth, only because I'm semi-retired and I'm trying to pick and choose when I do events. And next year I have 8 events, Joe, that I'm supposed to do. Between 6 and 8, I'm supposed to do. Some of those I'm going to be supervising sound, augmenting it with my equipment. And some of those I'll be being paid to do all the sound for those events. Plus, I have a friend up in Natchez, Washington, that's going to be having me do some events inside that city. And so that will be some sound equipment up there. Those will be, some of it will be donated, some of it will be paid gigs. So we really just need to figure all that out. All the YouTubers with their 2.4 megahertz mics try mixing a band or a corporate event with 20 wireless mics. Yeah, you're not going to be able to do that. That would be a disaster. So you definitely, if you're going to do big corporate events, maybe you're just going to go out and shoot videos out and about. Maybe buy an inexpensive kit for your wedding or your event. I know some people that even use their Bluetooth speaker and microphone for weddings and just stuck it in their pocket and recorded everything on their iPhone or their smartphone, Google device. But in reality, if you want to do high-end audio, you really need to do either wired or wireless, and it needs to be outside of that 2.4 gigahertz domain. Okay. Yeah, is there any really hardware that I want for next year? That's a great question, David. Yeah, there is. There is. Curtis Judd just did a video. Let me see if I can find it here. It's the deity Theos. Let me just bring that up. Not advertising for B&H, I'm sorry, but here is the kit. It's $1,090. This is a kit I'm looking at very seriously. You can see the investment, so hopefully that answers your question, David. So that may be something that we may be getting and checking out. I'm going to have to get a lot of work happening for my business coming into the spring before I'm going to spend that kind of money. I might be doing another shoot for the Forest River guys this spring. We'll see how that goes. I have been invited to go to a sale next weekend and work it. I might negotiate a deal to go do that. I just have not decided. That would be selling RVs and maybe doing some video footage. We'll just see how that goes. But that is the Deity Theos digital 2-person camera mount wireless Omni lavalier system. And so you can see that kit, and you can also go back here. Let me change this real quick. See if I can find this. I will put this link in the chat here. That is Curtis Judd's video on that device. Please don't click away right now, but I just put that in the chat so you can watch Curtis Judd's video later. Did a great review on that kit. And I believe he purchased it with his own money as well. And so that's definitely something that I want to get. And so we'll pop that up on the screen here. Let's see what is going on here. It played. Okay. So, and no, I have not got my drone license yet. I apologize. And I'm working on studying for that this springtime and finishing that drone license. And I'm really thinking about selling my drone and getting the new 4. So we'll see. My son-in-law and I have been talking about that. We're going to try to do some flying when the weather gets a little nicer. It's been pretty cold. I don't want to fly in the super cold weather, but so got Curtis Judd playing here in the left-hand side of my computer here. So, okay, let's move on. Chat off the air. So that's the answer to David's question. So I will be looking into that kit next year. I want to talk about the Studio Live console. Let me find it here. So I purchased this console. This is the smallest version that they have with the new technology. This is the version 3. Get my mouse to work here. You can see the price. I've seen these even lower on Amazon, but that's the 32SC that I have here in the studio. It's literally on the floor right now behind me. Tangled up here. So there it is. You can see right there. So I have it in a bag and absolutely love this device. We're going to do some videos on it. It's next to my Rodecaster Pro 2. You can also see I have the Go Power panel, which I don't have in the notes tonight, but that was gifted to me. 100-watt solar panel. There's my 12-inch Yamaha monitor. There's the 15 inches. I have 2 of those and 3 of those. And then I have the console. And then you can see right there on above the Go Power is the 16 by 8 stage digital stage box. And so we're going to talk about that stuff right now. Sorry about the echo. 2 mics on at the same time. So I have the 32SC, absolutely love it. It has great features. It'll integrate with the laptop. You can integrate with Studio One. You have other software that you can use just to do simple recording when you're live to your laptop, but you can also use it as a control surface to run your Studio your Studio One software. So if you want to have a control surface, you can use the knobs, the faders, and all that stuff. They are automatic faders. And again, I bought 2 speakers, the Yamaha 15s. They're the model DHR 15. And then I have the DHR-M 12-inch monitors. Now, I got to tell you, I love the monitors. They sound amazing. The speakers, I would give an 8 out of 10. They have some speakers that are about twice as much money that I really like, that are a lot better. In fact, where I spoke on Saturday night for a Christmas service, they had 2 of these, and I absolutely love the way they sound in that house. And so these are a little bit less expensive. I didn't have the budget to do the nicer ones, but I have the Snake right there, Stage Snake, that's 16 inputs and 8 outputs. So you can use that digitally from the board. And then I have 2 15s, the stands that you can see that's on right now. I have it tilted forward. You can have it straight up and down, or you can have it tilted forward. If you want to have it aimed into the audience rather than have it reflecting off the back walls, that's a trick. In a room that's not treated very well, then you can lift it higher and aim it down, and the bodies will help absorb some of the reverb off the walls. So again, I have 2 speakers, 3 monitors. I want to add another monitor at least, and a subwoofer. And that's another thing, David, that I have on my list, is that I want a powered sub. And so I've looked at some QSC subs, looked at some Yamaha subs, I looked at some JBL subs. I'm not quite sure if I will go with Yamaha. but I definitely will have to buy another stand because I am going to buy the kind of monitors that you can put a stand into the top of the sub. It's going to have wheels on it for sure, and then I can put the speaker on top of that stand. So I bought 2 speakers and the and my mother made covers for me. My mother-in-law. And they have my logo on them. This is a monitor cover, and they have Velcro so I can get to the handles. And so I have nice logoed covers for all of my speakers, including a cover that goes over my my QS or my 32SC. And we made these, but this is the cover that goes over my soundboard. And so there you go. It's got my logo on it. This one is not Velcroed. It's sewed on top of this. And this has a drawstring built into it to give it some ability to hold on the corners. Little tight, not designed to be used once it's hooked up, but this is what's going to be covering all the time when it's in the bag. And then we're going to make a different one, or we're going to do a Velcro back into this so I can also have this on when it's hooked up, because right now there's no way it's going to fit with cables coming out of that. So also, when I did that, I had to buy 2 power supplies, one for the box for the stage box and one for where I have my table for my soundboard. And so I tried 2 brands. I have a Furman, which I've used before, and then I bought an off-brand, and that's in the video if you go back and watch the videos in the links below. So 2 15-inch speakers, 3 12-inch monitors, all powered, 2 stands, the board, the bags, the wireless microphone. I have a Beta 58. I have some mic stands already. They're older versions, so I can use those. And again, I have some wireless microphones I can use as well. I've got the Deity pack that I have that I bought a couple years ago. That is stored right here. And so this would be a 2.4 kit, and I want to replace it. Not replace it. This will be used as well. This is a on-camera double microphone kit right there. And so this will go right on top of a camera, and then 2 body packs. And I use this kit all the time. I used it on that shoot in Dallas, Oregon, and I've used it for pretty much all of my video, talking heads, and all that stuff. And it comes with a couple microphones in the bags here, but I bought the Pro microphones by Deity, and they're flesh tone. And so I have those as well as these, and I just change out what microphone goes on the packs. And again, these are 2.4 hertz built-in batteries. The new kit that I'm looking at that I just showed you guys, it has batteries that are interchangeable. These are built-in batteries, and that's not always a good thing because eventually they're going to have to be replaced, and I'll have to send it back to get those replaced by Deity. But I love this kit, and again, don't have any videos on the links tonight on this. Didn't plan on getting this out, but that's what I will be having for gigs that I don't have to do big corporate things, but the other kit would be big corporate videos. So put that back up in the closet shelf. So awesome. So we have covered the Presonus, the Orange Monkey stuff, the Sennheiser Wireless, the second ATEM, and the Rodecaster Pro 2. 2 seconds for both of those. Already have Rodecaster Pro 1, already have a Rodecaster Pro 2. Now I have a second one, 2 ATEM Extreme ISOs, and an ATEM Mini Pro in the studio. If that's not enough, we talked about the Elgato prompter, Elgato green screen. Again, the rack ears. Let's look at that real quick. So I purchased the rack ears, and I put this together live, but you just have to loop those over so that you can plug into the front of the rack. So one is from the console, and B is pass through, so you could daisy chain another one of these. Another thing, David, I want to get is a 8 input. I might get another one of these just so I have 16 on the other side of the stage. That would give me 32, and that would give me all 16 of my monitor outs. But I also thought about they make an 8 input, which is perfect for drums. So you just set it in front of the drums, plug all the mics into that one, and then you can daisy chain, or you can buy a network box from Presonus that's dedicated so that you can just branch out from that network switch. Or you can just daisy chain, but if one went out, it could block all of your signals. So most people are going to go with the little network box, but this is the stage box, and it comes with these handles on it, and we pulled those off and put the kit on, and the video is in the link below if you'd like to see this thing going together. But it's pretty hefty. It's got power, and if you're going to put it in a rack, make sure it's a big air-filled rack so it can get plenty of airflow, because there's the vents right there. And probably an unexposed rack, because there's a lot of exposure to these little boards right here for the Ethernet power. I mean, the Ethernet signal from the board. So. And here's the Furman that I bought. And the other one is out in the rack in the garage, but this is just a regular Furman power supply, their least expensive one. It doesn't have the little pull-out lights. I do own one of those as well. It's in the rack over by the TV, but this does not have the pull-out racks, but it does have one outlet in the front, and it does have the outlets in the back. And if you get into the more expensive ones, then they time things come on and off differently when you push the button. And that's one thing that when you're running sound equipment, you always want to turn your speakers off before you turn your board off. So just keep that in mind. And then you always want to turn the speakers on before you turn your board on. So power up and power down differently. So keep that in mind. And you need some way to protect your power from surges. It also cleans up the power and takes some of that light hum or anything else that might be in the outlets. And then you can buy even more expensive versions that clean power as well. And I use these in the studio. Always have my ATEMs plugged into something that cleans the power, even when I'm out in the garage shooting or in the living room shooting, to stop any unneeded hum that gets into those preamps. Okay, so let's check the chat. Tony, how did your recent speaking gig go? Went great. So a little background on me. I did a lot of traveling and speaking. You guys have seen me do some ventriloquism. I used to do camps and retreats as well as corporate events. I did high school assemblies. I had a high school assembly program where I traveled with a friend of mine. He would sing and I would speak, and we worked with natural helpers in high schools and junior high schools years ago. But I haven't done a lot of speaking. I do this kind of speaking live every week, and I've done some speaking when I was doing some corporate events, but that gig went pretty good. It was a Christmas service on Saturday night for a friend of mine who has started his own church, and he's been bugging me about speaking. And so I did come over and I spoke, and I did a message entitled, "What Child Is This?" And we did that old song, which a lot of people sing in during the holidays, in mass and in churches around the world. And so I felt like it went really well. The feedback went really well, and I was literally exhausted when I was done. Spoke for about 35, 40 minutes, and it was a good night, so thank you for asking. And no, my mic was not muted at the church. I had a handheld, and it worked great, Joe. Subs are great. Yeah, I need a sub for my live streams. What I've been doing occasionally for small events is I'll use one of my 12-inch monitors and I will roll off all of the higher, mid, and higher frequencies and just use it to augment the lows. Those 12-inch monitors can fake a little bit of sub air movement, but not much. But it's nice for a very small venue to just augment the low frequencies and roll off all of the unnecessary stuff. Thank you. My mother-in-law did those covers, so it was really cool. David, I appreciate that. I will pass on the compliment to her. This is like watching a QVC, but I can't buy anything. Yeah, okay. Let me see if I can get this thing to populate again. Yeah, I'm definitely going to need some more mics. And I like the Beta 58s, so I probably get some more of those. I probably have another handheld, and I'd like to have a ear lapel, which isn't a lapel, but I mean the ear type body pack. Probably get that as a body pack to go with one of my wireless. So you just don't use the wireless handheld and you use the body pack instead. But those good over-ear microphones are very expensive, and I don't buy cheap gear when it comes to audio. It just never works out when you do that. I wish, in fact, my plan was always to use these as fill speakers. So I still will be buying a couple of those nicer Yamahas eventually. So the goal is a couple subs and then a couple of the nicer Yamaha speakers that retail for like $1,100. These were, I think, $800 or $700 or so a piece. Yeah, the little bro snake is great to have on the stage. Yeah, that's why it takes all day for me to prepare for a stream, Joe, is because I'm busy cleaning power. Your humor is precious. Okay, I'm moving on. Here we go. Let's wrap this up. Did Studio Live, did the rack ear install. Those links are below in the description. There's 3 videos on the 3032 SC, including the speakers that I purchased, unboxed, all of that stuff, including the stage box, and set it up within a couple weeks of my live streams. So go back and watch that. There is a video specifically on the Persona 16.8 in the description below. You have the Curtis Judd link now in the chat. So I will link that as well in the description tonight when we get done. We have covered the ATEM Mini and the Rodecaster Pro. I have 2 ATEM Mini Extreme ISO combo videos in the description. We covered the Sennheiser, the Orange Monkey Foldio 360, and the Foldio kit. The light box by them, Elgato green screen, and the Elgato prompter. So I have a couple I have a couple honorable mentions. I absolutely love this Tilta kit. So again, just hooks on the front of your lens like the prompter. Use the step-up rings to do that. This is an extra filter holder, so I can have like ND filter in my kit, as well as a polarizing filter. I'm going to be buying a polarizing filter here shortly. It's $135 from Tilta. And then the only thing I don't like about this is I wish I had more than just the one shade, which is mainly designed for sun, because I've had some issues with some lights, like a hair light getting into my lens. So it'd be nice to have something on the side. If I have to, I can turn this to do that. So keep that in mind. This will rotate on the axis, but you just slip in the filters right here in the slot. You can see that. And the filters that I have go in this little kit right here. And this is my variable ND, and this can actually be controlled electronically. So they have the ability to control a polarizing filter and an ND filter electronically right here, just like you can record with Tilta your aperture, and you can also control your focus. So that's a really cool feature, and you can put that on your rig and do some really cool controlling. Then I have two more of these that already have NDs in them, and I can switch those ND filters out. And then I also have these individuals, because in reality, if you're doing a high-end job, like a corporate job, you probably don't want to use an ND, variable ND filter, because it does have some issues, some color shifting. So like, especially if you're using Blackmagic design cameras and you're going to have to put a lot on it later, the last thing in the world you want is everything to match, but that one shot that you got using your variable ND filter shifted the color. So if you could use just a single ND filter and then do a white balance, you're not going to have that issue later in post. So I absolutely love this. This is the Tilta Mirage kit. And then you can add extra filters. And I have videos here on my channel for that as well, because we unboxed this and talked about it right here on the channel in one of my lives not last year, but at the end of 2022. So that is an honorable mention, because I absolutely love this kit, and I would not do a shoot anymore outdoors or even indoors, because this can give you the other filters as well. So you could add a mist filter. There's some really good filters. So go check out Tilta's video on Mirage, as well as their videos on the different filters they have, because you can get some great star effects. Great. So like music videos or high-end things, you want to have a kit like this, and I will be adding more filters to my kit very soon, like a polarizing filter. So that is the Tilta kit. And then I already talked about my second Rodecaster Pro, which is also an honorable mention, and then the filters that I bought with my Mirage kit. So go check out Tilta's stuff. I don't think I brought Tilta up here, did I? I should have, because it's worth bringing up. Because I absolutely love, I watched this video again the other day. Oh, by the way, Tilta has this now. So David, I want to add this as well. Eventually, I'm going to be able to do some focus pulling, and I love their new Nucleus Nano 2. That thing is just really cool. So let's find, where is it at here? Tilta Mini Matte Mirage. So here's the Mirage, and you can put in square filters as well if you want to buy a holder for square filters or round filters. But let's see, there was a great, let's see, does it come up if I click on? Yeah, somewhere on their channel. I can't find it right now. There's some great videos on their filters. Here's a Illusion Filters series right here, this video. So let me copy this and drop this in to tonight's chat, which I know this is unusual for me to be dropping things in the chat, but I'm going to. And I hope you guys enjoy some of these chat links. So back to me and my logo. So I love the Tilta Mirage. I love the Rodecaster Pro version 2. I did a video on that on the Rodecaster Pro version 2 about a year and a half ago. But last year, those are the things I bought. All that Persona stuff, the Folio kit, the Elgato prompter, the Elgato green screen, and a lot of the bits and pieces, some mic cords, some mic cables, and all of that stuff for my sound equipment, bags for my sound equipment. Even had my mom do some logos on her embroidery machine, which is amazing. So lots and lots of equipment last year. Probably one of my highest purchase years in a while. Obviously, when you buy high-end cameras, they're very expensive. I spent $4,500 on just my Canon 5D Mark IV and the kit lens plus tax 2-3 years ago. So, but last year, quite a bit of funds went through equipment last year, and I hope you guys appreciate getting a chance to see that stuff unboxed here on the channel. Okay. Glad the speaking engagement went well. Thank you. Beta 58s are awesome. Joe, I agree with that. Also, the Countryman is great as well. I've done lots of research on the Countrymans, even though I've never owned one of those, but I agree with you. They are amazing microphones. Thank you. Yeah, if you haven't hit the like, it really does help the algorithm. So if you're on tonight or you're watching this delayed, I would really, really, really appreciate you guys hitting the like button tonight. Yeah, Ratso totally enjoyed Christmas. He absolutely loved his cheese, 2 blocks of cheese for Ratso. So he is a fat rat, and I'm planning on posting that video somewhere here on my channel of my little Christmas routine. And if you didn't get to see it, go back 2 weeks ago and you can watch me perform live. Or if you don't mind it being a little smaller, watch last week's outro video because Ratso is in that. And a shout out to David Bergman. We got to go over there again on Christmas Eve with my wife and my mother-in-law and see his lights. And so really cool to get to go behind the scenes and see how David Bergman is doing his Christmas lights every year. And if you missed that, that's last week's live stream. I did an interview with David, actually 2 interviews, one on Monday and one on Tuesday. So go check last week's live stream video out. So thank you. I love that filter setup. Let's see. Are you still thinking about getting a Synology NOS? How did you currently store all of your photos and video footage? So I have some Western Digital Seagate backups, so they're duplicated. Most of my really important footage is stored on these. We heard all about these failing last week, but I haven't had a single one of these fail. And so I have, if I'm working on a job, it gets backed up on one of my Seagates or my Western Digitals, and then it also goes on one on here. And then usually when I come back from a shoot, I have some 256 gig SD cards. Here's one right here. Right here. So I leave the footage on here as well. So I have this, then I transfer it to here at the hotel. So I have this and this. And so I have extra 256 gigabyte cards. And then I back it up when I get back to the studio on the Seagate card, and I make them purchase one of these for each of the big jobs. So I have a 4 terabyte that I used for the dealership I was working with, and I have some 2 terabytes and some 1 terabytes, as well as 13s, 10s, and 12 and 11 on Western Digital and Seagate drives. But I do eventually want to get a NOS. And I just didn't spend the money last year on it. Actually, I bought that Rodecaster Pro and that ATEM Mini Extreme ISO, Tony, with the money I was going to use to purchase a NOS. And Tony was helping me answer questions on what I should get. And if you want to know anything more about that, go to Tony's Quick Tech Solutions channel. He has lots of videos on some Synology NASs or NOSs, however you want to say it. I'm definitely not able to do that very well. What DAW do you recommend? I love Pro Tools. And I also love Studio One. I think PreSonus really listens to people, and they're less arrogant than what you'll see from Avid. But either one are great. So those are the DAWs I can use. You can also use the Adobe Suite. Adobe Audition is a pretty powerful DAW. They purchase a lot of software that you would have to buy to use with Studio One or Pro Tools. Adobe has acquired some really cool effects and different things that are built into their Adobe Audition. So it's a great value. So any one of those three, or you could flip over to Mac only DAWs, but I like something that you can use on a Mac or on a PC, and you can do that with Adobe. You can do that with Studio One, and I own Studio One 4. I want to also, David, to answer your question, I want to update to 5. I think they're going to actually, or 6, I think. It's 6 now. I think they're going to update pretty soon, so I haven't updated my Studio One 4 in a while, but it's powerful. And now that I have the Studio Live 32 SC console, it makes total sense for me to update my Studio One software. So if I do any live recording at events, I'll do it dry and add effects later. But again, your signal's only as good as what you get in the building you're in. So keep that in mind anytime you're doing live sound. It's much better to be doing a recording in a studio. You can use some sound blankets. You can do some things to drums. You could do drum replacement later. I love Steven Slate's drum replacement software. So check that out, Steven Slate. He was a famous drummer for years, and he has his own company, and he does specific drum recording, and you can buy those samples and use them in your DAW to replace drums. So if you want to get a really great sounding drum, he has all kinds of snares, all kinds of toms, different type sets, different type woods like maple, and all of those great sounding drum kits. And they record it with high-end microphones in a controlled room. And Steven Slate's drum samples are amazing. So keep that in mind. Lots of money can be spent on plugins in that digital domain world to get more of an analog sound. You're going to be buying lots of plugins. So, okay, let me see. Are we caught up in the chat? Get my chat working here. Thanks for the channel shout out, Keith. You're welcome. Highly recommend the NOS Synology is a no-brainer. What do I think about Rode buying Mackie? Well, we talked about that a few weeks ago. I believe 2 weeks ago, I talked about Mackie and the combo. I think it's a great move. I think they're going to do great things together. Rode's been around a long time, obviously, Australian company. And now you have Mackie, United States company, I believe, out of Seattle area, if I remember correctly. And so lots of opinions about that. It's going to be very interesting to see what they come up with. They have some cutting edge technology on both sides of that. See if I can find your question here and get it to actually come up. There it is. So I think it's a great thing to keep our eyes on, and we'll watch that next year, and we'll definitely be talking about that. And there's Tony's comment about Synology. Yeah, and I've always thought if I get when I get a NAS, I will be using Synology, I think, for sure. Especially because I know this guy who might help me out if I get stuck. Actually, a couple guys here on the channel might do that. Okay, let me just go back here. I see some chats I didn't get a chance to put up. Hank said hi here earlier. Tony said hi here earlier, where he was seated when he got here earlier. David earlier, I think I put these on. They just showed back up like they haven't been displayed. So hopefully that's all the chat. If you guys have anything else you want to add, now's the time to do that before we roll out. And happy to give you guys shout outs on your channels. So, well, I almost did not go live today. I woke up very tired, very busy week. So lots of activities. I went to a Friday night event, spoke on Saturday, spent off and on 2 days getting ready for my Saturday night. So because I hadn't done a lot of speaking, I spent a lot of time preparing for that. We did our live stream. I did all those interviews with David that week. There was a lot of work in editing for last week's live stream. So when I got up this morning, I was actually thinking about postponing this live stream till next week. But I want to wrap up 2023 by saying that it was a great year. I obviously know we've had some challenges over the last 3 or 4 years. People say that next year is not going to be the easiest year possible because it's an election year here in the United States. That's always kind of interesting here in America. Maybe that doesn't affect everybody, like in the UK and different places like that. But in reality, 2024, in my opinion, is going to be a great year. I hope the channel continues to grow. I hope you guys will hit the like button. Hope you'll continue sharing the videos and liking the videos and responding in the chat and being with me live on Tuesdays. I do have a plan next year to try to release 2 videos a month here on the channel, uploads, as well as shorts. So I am getting ready to put some final touches on some videos that I've been working on. Also some videos from the past that I want to make into uploads. So we'll see how the year plays out. Obviously, a lot of that depends on everything going good with family and all the other things, you know, that we all face on a regular basis in life in general. So hopefully we will get a good report soon from Jay, who seemed to be under the weather tonight. So that concerns me, but okay. I will be live Tuesday after the new year. And I have some things that I'd like to focus on next week. Still working on a couple ideas. I don't want to completely, totally paint myself into a corner, but it should be a good stream. I hope you guys will join me. I am Keith. This is Life Journey Production Studios, and I hope you enjoyed that look back in 2023. So if I was going to do anything different last year, I probably would not have bought the Elgato green screen, but I really wanted to have it as a tool. I rarely ever use green screen work. I do have it now if I do a job and I need green screen, but I would have probably used that money for something else. But everything else that I purchased, I'm very happy with. I'm even happy with it. And I plan on using the Folio kit a lot more for my intro videos. I would really like to take some of those items and give you guys some panoramic views of those. I just really got lazy once I got that kit. I want to designate an area in my garage and be able to set it up really quickly. So thank you. I will take those as compliments. Thank you, Joe, and thank you, David, and thank you, Doug, for joining me. Doug, by the way, did you get any new Star Trek cool stuff for the holidays? If you did, please email me or let me know. So that would be really cool to hear the details on that. So, okay. Well, it has been great to be with you tonight. I hope you guys have an amazing holiday this weekend, New Year's. Be safe. If you are going to party, please get a designated person to go with you. The roads can be crazy during those seasons. You also have weather here where I live in the States because it can get snowy and icy. So I wish you guys the best, and I hope we get a good report very soon on TVJ that everything is okay. And continue to lift him up in your prayers. And I hope to see you guys very, very soon. It'll be at least next year, 2024. So I'll see you then. Until then, I am Keith. This is Life Journey Production Studios. Hammer that like button. Subscribe if you haven't already. And thank you so much for for joining me in this year-end live stream. Until next time, be safe and keep your chin up. It's going to be fine.